There's a new street fighter on your windowsill. The weapon is peace, the word is chill.
Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour. And today we are going to dust off some of our unloved figures. I'm going to give you a countdown of the 50 most underrated or forgotten about Marvel Legends. So strap yourselves in, take off your pants, crack a beer, and get ready for the world's dumbest video podcast. Guys, I've been looking forward to this one because there are so many Marvel Legends. Thousands. Are there literally thousands? There's a lot. Most of them are in this room. But there are so many that we just kind of forget about. They're not bad, but they're not great. They're kind of just like in the middle, but some of them have some really great points. They're like, we are the mediocre legends. You won't find our faces in any top tens. No prize if you can tell me what that song is a riff of. Anyway, where on earth was I going with that? This is my countdown of 50 underrated, in my case, much loved Marvel Legends. Coming in first, we have JeanLuc Val. Why did I get this character? I don't even read any comics with this guy. Can you see how spingly and spangly and sparkly he is? He's really, really spingly, spangly and sparkly. I love that. And it's no kind of order to it. It's not like a boring computer splat print of stars. It's just like someone got some glitter and just threw some glitter at him and it all just stuck on there, making like a Milky Way sort of cosmos. It looks really eye-catching. You hold him up to the light and he glistens. He glistens and gleams like a starman waiting in the skies. And that's why I love JeanLuc Val. He's got his little bandolier, he's got his gun. It's a really simple design, but it works so well with the Spartan helmet as well. But I tell you what he's doing, he is collecting dust on the shelf, and that is a crime because JeanLuc Val is a much underrated figure in my humble opinion. Now we've got ourselves Speed Demon, one of the superior foes of Spiderman. That's where my brain was going. Very often my mouth gets ahead of what my thoughts are. Speed Demon, why is he a particularly good figure? He comes with the severed head of Silvermane in a remote-controlled buggy. Of all the accessories you could possibly get, that is straight fire. How could you not love that? Add to the fact that this design, this Speed Demon costume, from a graphic design standpoint, I really, really dig this. With the like lightning bolts, it looks like a can of energy drink, but it's just very striking, and I love that. He's got his speed running hands, he has fist hands as well, so you got some changes there, but really it's the Silvermane head, which I don't have to hand, which is kind of silly. I might try and include that for the other angle of this video, but yeah, Speed Demon is an easy entry to the Forgotten Legends. That's what this is called. Going over to the X-Men, we have Jocasta.
X-Men? Really, Dave? X-Men? Is that your final answer? You sure you didn't mean Avengers? I'm sorry, guys. Of course he meant Avengers, but what can I say? He's an idiot. But he's our idiot.
Now this, you could argue, it is a very basic bare bones figure. I don't think this came with any other extras. Does she have other hands? That's about it. But then why do you have any time for this figure in particular? First of all, you seen this body sculpt? This is a thick Avenger. And look, I'm a red-blooded guy. I don't mind saying. I like my Marvel Legends to be kind of thick and curvy, all right? The way God intended. Actually, I think God had nothing to do with these thoughts. But still, this is a fun figure because she's unusual. Bright chrome silver look really pops off the shelf with the bizarre kind of hairstyle, which is like a sort of Egyptian kind of pharaoh sort of inspired, I think. But she's the wife of Ultron. I think he made himself like a bride, like the bride of Ultron. Obviously, Ultron digs the thick hips as well. What a boy, am I right? So yeah, this is a fun character with her spindly bindly hands. Again, Rogue has these same, too sweet me type hands as well. Don't know what the deal is with those. But she's a fun figure that deserves a little extra recognition. Now, when we're talking forgotten figures, how about ultimate Peter Parker. How is he forgotten? Well, everyone always asks, what's the best Spider-Man? Is it Retro or is it the Pizza Spider-Man? And everyone forgets that if you want to have a young Peter Parker, Ultimate Spider-Man is your boy right here. He's fantastic. This is just like, I mean, first of all, this is perfect representation of Mark Bagley Spider-Man. Big white eyes, bright blue, solid web lines. This is fantastic. He's just so underrated. He was thrown in either with a Vulture 2-pack or on his own in a wave from long, long ago. And we need do we need a new release? I don't think anyone's clamoring for Ultimate Spider-Man, but just if you're talking a young Peter Parker, look at the great big spider on the back there. He's just fantastic. You put this guy with the Sinister Six around him, that is classic 60s Spider-Man, but with a more modern twist. Love this guy. Now, what kind of a list would it be without some symbiote representation? And we have Venomized Captain America, one of the more modern figures. Came out last year? Yeah, of course it came out last year. And this was one that when I first saw him advertised, I was like, well, hey, it's a single release. At least I won't need to buy him because I don't need a Venomized Captain America. And then I saw him and I was like, this guy looks really good. And it is. This is a striking, I'm going to say striking a lot. I know, I need like a little tally. Bing! But it is. I'll give you one more. Striking design. Because it's the basic 80th anniversary Captain America body, which is terrific because he's got the wonderful chainmail, fish scale type armor. But then you've got the symbiote kind of wrapping around it. And this on here can be removed to reveal his actual shield. But I love I'm sorry, a little bit windy. Am I going to cut that? Nah. We got the paint splatter symbiote on there. That's awesome. The head sculpt with the teeth and the tongue. It's just a fun, unusual character that I really, really dig. Now, how can you not like a horse with a hammer? It's a horse and he's carrying a hammer. Wow, I'm just all about the Simpsons references today. It's dogs and poker. I digress.
They're dogs, and they're playing poker!
It's Beta Ray Bill. It's a more modern version of Beta Ray Bill. Oh my goodness, of course we want the classic 90s Beta Ray Bill. That is the money Beta Ray Bill. But Hasbro do what they like to do, which is give us like the not too iconic one, then go back and give us the super iconic one. But I think because I know that this isn't the ideal one that I want, I kind of like got him and then went, on the shelf you go, without going, no, I'm going to acknowledge you for the badass figure you are. Look at the horse head. Look at the articulated little jaw there. Is it? Yeah, it is articulated. That's so great. It's got so much character and personality. And the fact that he's a big, hefty, chunky boy as well with a big, hefty hammer. There's so much with this character that it's a crime that he gets lost at the back of my cosmic shelf. I need to push Beta Ray Bill into Beta Ray Prominence? That doesn't work. Either way, he deserves more recognition. Now someone who's been tearing up the TVs recently, Monica Rambeau. This is a character who came in a 5-pack, like a Ladies of Marvel 5-pack, and all of those figures are quite hard to come by. Of course, with her appearance on WandaVision, she's getting some more press, and rightly so, because this figure is just kind of lovely. It's a little sleeper hit. The whole selling point to me is the fantastic female face sculpt. And I feel that, I'm not a expert on anything, but I feel like the sculptor captured perfectly human sort of proportions. It's not like a Barbie doll face. It's a human looking face. And they gave her sort of a whimsical, wistful kind of look that's not dead-eyed and mannequin-like. There's actually something going on here. Then throw in the awesome hair and the badass-looking trench coat. She's a great figure that, again, was getting lost on the cosmic shelf. Needs more prominence. Oh no, I want to build Next Wave now. Oh, I want to build Next Wave. You know what that means? I'm not going to have to buy Elvis MODOK. I might buy I don't want to buy Elvis MODOK. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to feed into the system, but I want to build Next Wave now. I don't want Elvis MODOK, but I want that Captain figure now. God damn you, Hasbro. Damn you to hell. I'm not going to do it. Maybe I will. Tell me in the comments if I should get Elvis MODOK, because I kind of want to build Next Wave now. Ah, son of a biscuit. Okay, I've shaken that off, and now it's time to look at the original Electro. Before we had retro Electro, we had the more modern Electro. And this, of course, people were a little bit because they wanted the classic, with the green pants. Basically, that's the only difference. Because what's great about this figure is that he comes with the classic zigzag lightning Electro mask as well. So it's great to have the options. And before we got the retro Electro, I had him with the zigzag mask. But then as soon as I got the retro one, I was more than happy to keep hold of this guy and move him over to my modern Spider-Man shelf. Because that's a perfect excuse to whack the bald head on there, and it's a great expressive face. He really looks mean with the kind of look on his face, the grimace, and I love that his eyes are actually kind of metallic, like he's got electricity coursing through him, and then the hands themselves are translucent, so it just looks like he's made but not made of electricity. I hate it when characters like Electro in movies or adaptions, they will make them like fully electric. Because it's like, no, he needs to have a physical human form. If he's just electricity, how does that work? How do you contain him, beat him, deal with him? How is he conscious? It just raises too many questions. See if you can tell me what film that's from. But yeah, this Electro, good time with this. Love this guy. Going back to Avengers, and a more modern figure is Thunderstrike. You've been Thunderstriked! I'm a terrible singer. That's why I only do it in this room. Thunderstrike. Is it Eric Masterson? Oh, they messed it up on the box, didn't they? I can't remember. There's something wrong. I'm not a Thunderstrike expert. But all I can tell you is this is a sleeper hit for me for last year. Because, okay, no accessories. That's a shame. But does he need accessories? First of all, the head sculpt. A lot of people don't like type head sculpts. They want kind of neutral or sort of relaxed. But I love this big, angry, shouting head sculpt. So much fun. I totally dig it. So yeah, Thunderstrike, awesome character. Big ass ponytail. I love his jacket as well, which the fact that it's a separate soft rubber piece, I mean, they've used it a lot, but they deserve to use it a lot. They've made a really good accessory. I just have so much fun with this character. And again, big bang of 90s. All the love for Thunderstrike. Now going back to the Spidey type villains, we have Puma, or Puma, if you will. And not really a villain, an anti-hero maybe, but what makes this figure great is the face sculpt. The feline face sculpt. They have done such a good job on this figure of capturing that cat Puma sort of features within the humanoid type face. His little nose is adorable, his pointy ears, he's got the eyes with the scar over there. It just works really well. It's like they looked at it and went, okay, look, we're gonna just reuse a basic body with this, but let's at least give him a good head. And that good head. But that's what they did, and they really nailed it. This is an excellent just jumped the camera there. I think we're safe. This is an excellent face sculpt. The rest is like, it's fine, but fine is still good. The nice flowing fur around his feet, on his forearms, the good clawed hands. Again, this is a perfect representation of Puma from the comics. You don't need to do any more. And what they've done, especially with this face, is excellent. Now then, from like mysticism to technology, we have Deathlock. And this is he a forgotten Marvel legend? I don't know. He gets a fair bit of recognition, but he really should, because he's so freaking good. Look at this guy. Zombie cyborg, people. What is not to like? He is so badass with his huge big chain gun, with the Gatling gun, with the bullets that he can hold in his hand and like feed them through. I realize this is the perfect way to have him posed holding the gun belt. It makes sense. And also, like, if he's not holding the gun belt, his hand is just like there. Just like, he's like, oh, I knew I forgot something. So this works really well. Then the awesome detail. There's so much detail on his face. The skin looks dry and tight and zombified. It's just really cool. Absolutely dig this figure the most. We are venom to you, Spider-Man. We are Poison. You see, that's kind of a reverse of the animated, forget it. Poison. This was a really short-lived kind of story, kind of like the poisons were a thing. The poisons were all a thing a couple of years ago. It was Venomverse. It was this poison sort of thing where the poisons, they're an okay sort of concept. They're just like these little creatures that latch onto symbiotes and turn into symbiotes themselves. Like, they are symbiotes, but they're symbiotes that attach to symbiotes. So it's just like symbiotes with an extra step. It's just like slavery with an extra step. So the designs are cool because they are very, as you can see, kind of rigid and metallic, and like they look like armor. It's very like shell-like. So every poison design was like venomizing a character and then like Iron Manning them. So they made some cool designs. This is like the basic poison design. I think this is meant to be Poison Peter Parker. But basically, if any character gets a poison on them, this is like the plain generic version of that. And it looks cool because he's not just plain white. He has these little pearlescent type marks and lines. And then you've got the big flippity dippity spider legs coming off of here. I really like this. It's a sleeper hit and I dig him. Now, you want some beef? I got some beef right here. Ares, not the Build-A-Figure, but the single release. This thing, this guy, was a single release. Hasbro. Didn't cost as much as the new Venom, I'll tell you that. But look at the size of him. I mean, I don't really need to wax lyrical to you about why he's so good. And I'm sure you might be watching this going, dude, he's not underrated. We all think he's great. Yeah. But when was the last time you thought about him? Hey? When were you last sat around Sunday lunch and you thought, man, Ares is a badass figure? Because you should do. This guy right here, so great. Huge big battle axe, massive big broadsword, and a removable helmet. That makes all the difference. Because normally when you have a removable helmet, the head kind of feels a bit undersized. Does this head feel a bit undersized? Maybe, but he's on a gigantic Roidy Magoo type body, so of course he's going to have a small head. For me, it works just fine. Absolutely adore this Ares. Now let's go over to Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier. Now this is a really funny kind of figure because it feels to me like an MCU figure. You guys can tell me because you're more MCU people than I am. Most of this body, this is MCU reuse, isn't it? It feels real worldy. The boots, the jeans, the combat trousers, this all feels very kind of real worldy, and they've got a slightly more comic-y kind of head, which you know what? I'm fine with, because it looks great. He almost feels a little bit out of place, because there's so much more sort of intricate detail on here than there are on other characters who have very basic kind of spandex type costumes. But because of that, he really stands out as a figure that is rocking so much detail. Different paint jobs for the belt and his kind of bandolier, all the details in the pockets and pouches. So much work and effort has gone into this figure. I really, really love this version of Winter Soldier. Now keeping it kind of soldiery, we have Demolition Man. Wow, that completely escaped me there. We have Demolition Man, D-Man. Although this is the sort of Scourge-like version of Demolition Man. This is when he was brainwashed. And it was a cool story because D-Man is like, he idolizes Captain America. And now he's brainwashed to try and kill him. It's tragic, but I love that kind of tragedy. Also, just as a character, Demolition Man is a character who happens to be gay. He's not a gay character. And I really like having that representation in comics. Like, occasionally you'll just see him with his boyfriend, or I don't know if they're married or life partner or what have you, but it's just cool that it's like a part of his character, but it's not who he is. It's just another part of his character. Am I laboring this point long enough? Yeah, that should do it. It's awkward for everyone now. Demolition Man, a great design because also he's got the Jason X hockey mask for, Jason Goes to Space type hockey mask. That looks great. The gas mask type sides on there looks really cool with the silver highlights and whatnot. He has his weird like chocolate weapons. I gave out on my review about him that they're brown, but in fairness, they're brown in the comics. So, which kind of mirrors his D-Man colors. There you go. That sort of makes sense. But yeah, this is a really fun little sleeper figure, and a lot of folks use this as an army builder as well, because he makes a great generic kind of goon-looking type character. So yeah, so many things you can do with this guy. Really cool figure. Now let's get big and colorful with Radiation Man. That's Radioactive Man, jerk! Yeah, I did that same joke when I reviewed this guy like a lifetime ago. Do you remember my Radioactive Man review? That was one of my favorite videos. Feels like forever ago now. But what did I say in that video? I love this guy. He's a giant green jelly bean. He's adorable. And he just sits on the shelf like he's radiating energy from the shelf. Wherever I put him in my room, I can instantly go, oh, there's Radioactive Man. It's such a great figure to have on the shelf. Not that easy to come by, but not crazy expensive either. If you go hunting, you can normally find him. He came in a 3-pack, which makes him a little bit harder to get hold of, but he's so worth it. Great big body as well. This is the Hyperion body, maybe? Don't kill me if it's not, but I think it might be. In fact, it definitely is. If you say it's not, you're wrong. I don't know. Just talking gibberish. But yeah, Radioactive Man. Bright, green, colourful, so much fun. Absolute essential for an Avengers villains shelf. That was easy to say. Going back around to Spider-Man now. Come on, say it with me. That's gotta be Kane! That's gotta be Kane! If no one else watched 1997 WWE, that made no sense. But still, it's Kane. And oh, can I do it? It's about time I did it. Mwah! Chef's kiss. I love, love, love this figure. It's a basic Sunfire body, but just the little bits they do extra. First of all, they've kind of surprisingly gone the Deadpool route with the mask, where the eyes are not perfect symmetrical. It's actually a bit of a sort of a squint, a little bit of a kind of look to it, which for me is fine. It works, especially with this costume, which actually is a costume that does react to his kind of psychic mental commands. It's not like a living costume like a symbiote, but he can control it. So it makes sense that the eyes could move in unison with him. So that's great. Then you've got the different hands with the stingers as well. So that's a great little touch, which they could have not included, but they did include it. And it's so great to see, because it's an essential part of this character that he has the powers of the other, which just sets him apart. And then on top of that, you've got a changeable head, an interchangeable head as well, which is kind of a double-edged sword for me, because it's the really, really cool looking bearded Peter Parker head, which I love, but unfortunately it's like got this pale, sickly yellow color to it, and the eyes are all yellow, because this is during like a one-issue story where he's infected with the carry-on virus. And it's like, why are you putting him in, like, why are you giving us this version when, like, it only appears for one issue and then it's gone, when we could have had him just looking like Kane? I digress. But that notwithstanding, at least it is a good extra head, and we all love extra head. Snigger, snigger. So yeah, this is a great figure. A little bit underrated, I think, but still well worthy of being on the list. Coming up now, I'm going to do two together, and those are, of course, Cloak and Dagger. I don't know why I said of course. Like, of course on this list after Kane, it's Cloak and Dagger. Duh. But these guys are definitely two Marvel legends that have kind of been just not forgotten about, but whoever talks about Cloak and Dagger anymore? You know, the kids aren't talking about them. They're talking about their Pokemons and their skateboards and their haircuts. But these two, I love it when you can pair characters up and like make teams and stuff. Two characters still makes a team, and these guys work great. And what I really like is when they have a character where they'll be a little bit innovative with, and with Cloak, they actually have a slightly see-through transparent cloak, so that's really, really fun. And then if you want to, you can actually pop the body off and just have his head in the cape, and the cape will stand up and it just looks like there's the black void inside. So that's a really fun little touch. And then when you pair him up with Dagger, I was going to say Dazzler, Dagger, then you can have her sort of coming out of the cloak, make such a good two-person kind of set. I really, really dig that. So yeah, these guys are awesome together. Then she's got her little stars that she throws. That's great. But what I really like most about Dagger, I keep wanting to say Dazzler. Dagger is the face sculpt. Kind of like I was saying with Monica Rambeau earlier, they really did a fantastic job of nailing this female face sculpt, which I think is probably because we've all been traumatized by Toy Biz, that we're like, please don't make terrifying face sculpts anymore. This is a great female feminine face sculpt. All the Fs. Can't say fairer than that then. So she doesn't have much of a dynamic look, but she's got a fairly determined, sort of elegant kind of look, and that's good enough for me. So these guys together, excellent entry on the list. Now then, let's get mean and nasty with hard as marble, cold as ice, Tombstone. Tombstone is another figure that kind of flies under the radar a little bit, but just look at the face. The face is what does it. Kind of like I was saying with Puma before. They sort of just quickly threw the body together with what they had with a couple of little extras, which are nice, like the boot cuffs and the belt. Again, that's all the character design needs. So that's fine. But then they went, you know what? Let's at least go ham with the head. And they did. The head is perfect. And what's great is that Tombstone isn't that prominent of a character. He's appeared a lot, but they're never like in landmark stories. Tombstone's always kind of a filler character. Like when they're in between the big milestones with the Green Goblins and the symbiotes, it's like, we'll throw Tombstone in there somewhere. But they've really gone to the effort to put so much character in this. Look at the evil red eyes, the grinning jaws with sharp teeth, which is something Tombstone has that people will often leave out. He has sharp teeth. He has a kind of upturned bat-like nose. He's got this wonderful sort of vampire aesthetic. So cool. And then the skin tone itself has this beautiful sort of grey marble wash. It looks like marble. That's his whole gimmick. Is his skin is hard as marble, cold as ice, and it looks like it. Such a great, underrated figure. Now, if we're talking big tough guys from the streets, it don't come much tougher than Rage. Rage Cage, love this guy. When I made my top 10 favorite Marvel Legends list a long time ago, he was actually on here. And people were like, what are you doing putting Rage on your top 10 Marvel Legends list? He's like the most basic of figures. I know, but he looks so cool. He's got a bright yellow lucha mask. Lucha libre. Sometimes when you are a man, you wear stretchy pants. It's for fun. Tell me what movie that's from. It's not a good movie. But still, Rage, such a good figure with his look on his face, so expressive. Like he's really like, let's throw down. I'm here, let's do it. Really cool. The same jacket as Thunderstrike, both of them rocking them so hard. He's got the great studded belt with all the extra paintwork on there too. And look, I know there's no extras, there's no different hands, no different heads, but when he's got his dukes up, ready to fight, and he's got a badass lucha mask, and he's ready to defend the streets. Rage, so awesome. Bring on the rest of the new warriors. Now this here is a funny old one. We have ourselves Machine Man, which again, I was looking at Monica Rambeau and I was like, damn it, I'm so close to making Next Wave or Agents of Hate or whatever it is. It's so terrible. I'm giving out about building the team and I can't even think, what are they called again? Yeah, Next Wave. But the thing is, the only reason that's kind of putting me off from that as well is that this isn't like what Machine Man looks like in the modern comics. He has hair a lot of the time and he wears a trench coat and he's not as bombastic looking as this. This is a very retro kind of Machine Man. Also, I just realized I don't have Elsa Bloodstone either and she's freaking expensive. So with her plus MODOK, yeah, it's not worth it. Okay, we've decided I'm not building Next Wave. For now. But this is a fun figure because he's got his two extendo arms as well. I wanted to have just one extendo arm because two, it looks kind of odd on the shelf, but one works really well. Then just the rest of his body is all shiny, bright. I was going to say translucent. It's not translucent, but it is shiny, bright, metallic purple plastic, which is a lot of fun. Then the face, this works well because he's a robot. He's not meant to be crazy emotional or expressive. It's just a type expression, and that is perfect for Machine Man. So with the bright colors, the extendy arms, so much fun to be had with this. Coming up now, we have Darkhawk. Aha, you almost got me there. I was too fast for you. Box clever. So we have Darkhawk, not Nightwing or Night Thrasher or Nighthawk or any other permutation of that. Darkhawk is another character who's kind of obscure, but they went hard with him and the quality shows. And that's why I can never get too mad with Hasbro. Because what other toy company is going to make a Darkhawk figure? So I love you guys for that. And sometimes you might nickel and dime us, but that's so that we can get rare, bizarre characters. This one, again, just smack big bang of 90s right in your eyes. This guy's straight from the comics. I love his sort of bird helmet. Bird helmet sounds so ridiculous. But yeah, it's a bird helmet design that looks really just angular and metallic and robotic, but kind of cool as well. He's got the beautiful, they almost look like razor blade, almost like Archangel type wings there. That's really awesome. Then he's got his little bird claws on his hand. It was the 90s, so therefore everyone had to have retractable claws if you wanted to be cool. Darkhawk, really fun figure. And again, another one that's kind of creeping in there with the New Warriors. Give us New Warriors, make Speedball, you cowards. Coming in now, we have Bullseye! Gosh, what's the... You can literally see my brain working in these videos. I was like, who am I holding in my hands? I really wanted to say Deadpool. No, Bullseye. And look, this might actually be a bit of a stretch for underrated figures because people do want this guy. He's in quite high demand. He costs quite a bit on the back market? Second-hand market? Wow, it's because it's too hot in here. It's so hot in here. My brain is overheating. But Bullseye is a great figure. Why? Mostly because I love his bald head as well, which is kind of ridiculous that I'm not then displaying it here. But he comes with the bald head, with the missing tooth. He's got the missing tooth here. Every time you read Bullseye in the comics, he's always this snidey, sadistic, sarcastic dick, basically. And this head sculpt captures that perfectly. Calm down, Dave. You're just talking about action figures. The fact that he's got his little gun, finger bang type pose here as well, with his Luger, with the removable knife, because folks love removable weapons, myself included. There's so much going on with what is a basic figure. It's just a basic body, but the little bit of extra detail with the Bullseye logo, which on the bald head is carved into his forehead. Oh, that's really great. I love, love, love what they did with Bullseye. And now we're going totally cosmic with Cosmic Spider-Man, or just Captain Universe, because that was another great thing about this figure. I think you had 3 heads with this figure, which was kind of bonkers, but also really great. So we had the Captain Universe Spider-Man version on here, but you also just have the plain blue all over generic Captain Universe power type character. And then you also had the bearded Peter Parker look from Spider-Verse. So you had all these different versions that you could create out of this. And had I bought this at retail at the time, I might have been tempted to buy another one just so at least I could have the Captain Universe separate as well. I've put the separate energy effects on because that's one thing. He doesn't come with energy effects. And it's like, look, it's Captain Universe. Kind of needs to have energy effects. But now he does. All is right with the world. And Captain Universe has been featured really prominently in some recent comic book stories, which I'm trying not to spoil. But he's a big character, and when he came into the Spider-Man comics, it was great, because Peter Parker just threw down with everyone. He was like, Magneto, pinky flick. Grey Hulk, mama said knock you out. He'd done wrestle with an alligator, tussle with a whale, handcuff lightning, throw thunder in jail. Whoo! Bad dude. That was Spider-Man for like a month, and it was so much fun to watch that. And then eventually the Omega Power, is it the Omega Power? Either way, it left him and went on its adventures. But yeah, really fun figure, bright metallic paint job, all the different heads, so much toyetic potential, I guess. And yeah, that's number 25 on my list of top 50 underrated Marvel Legends. I'm going to cut it there. And we're going to come back in the next day or two with the second 25. Because I was going to do all 50 today. And then, like, if I'm lying, I'm dying. And I am dying because, yeah, we're just, it's just so hot. So, if you would like to help the channel, then you can join Patreon at patreon.com/displayingmodelbehavior and give me money to buy an air conditioner. And then I can keep doing these videos forever. But yeah, seriously, go over to Patreon. Money me now, please. Like, how else am I going to buy that Modok onto a thing? You know, these things don't grow on trees. Mama needs a new pair of shoes. Actually, I do need a new pair of shoes. I haven't bought new clothes in years, and I'm drowning in legends. I've made the right choices. But yeah, if you go up to Patreon, you can join the rest of these amazing legends who are supporting the channel and showing a little bit of extra love and seeing some extra videos too, which aren't as good as the ones on the main channel, but hey, it's just kind of a little thank you for throwing some cash my way. Right, that's enough of the plugs. Boy, I really belabored that point. Guys, if you're still watching, thank you so much for joining me. Tune in next time for part 2 of the top 50 underrated legends, and until next time, keep display. It looks like such a nervous twitch, but it's supposed to be a wink, but it just looks like I'm going like, until next time, keep displaying model behavior. But actually, go join the Discord as well. I keep forgetting to plug the Discord. And the model behavior Discord is just a fun, positive, awesome place run by some badass, awesome admin. What was the name? Moderators was what I was trying to say. So go join that. And until next time, nervous twitch, keep displaying model behavior.
Chill.
Hello there, Marvel Legends, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behavior. And today we're going to do something kind of fun. We are going to dust off the... Words are hard.
Oh, look at me. I'm making people happy. I'm the magical man from Happy Land in a gumdrop house on Lollipop Lane.